What is something that your body does that worries you, but not enough to ask a doctor about it? Random eye twitches that don't stop for ages. I get this a lot too. My doc said it was from stress fatigue. My knee makes a crackling, crunching noise with each step I take on stairs. If I recall correctly, femoral patella syndrome. You are not alone, I have it. Physical therapy if the clicking hurts or if your kneecap subluxate, dislocate. I can't burp, ever. What happens instead is that gas will build up somewhere in my upper stomach area. My throat will gurgle a lot. Then I'll start salivating and sweating and it will feel like I am about to puke. Then, when I go to cough puke, all this gas comes billowing out of my throat at about 500 miles per hour and is louder than even the loudest burp could ever dream of being. It happens about once or twice a month and there will be a 2-3 day sensitivity period after it, during which it usually happens again. Lying down flat on my back makes it stop. Everyone I know has gotten used to though. I just shout out, "UHO my burping problem." I tease happening and find a quiet place to puke up the gas. This is the funniest one next to the dude whose body eats his right nut. That must suck though. I sweat a lot. I'm 150 pounds and 6 feet, actually a bit underweight, so it isn't a problem with that. But basically, no matter if it's summer or winter, t-shirt or 3 layers, by the end of the day I have horrible sweat spots in my armpits. I don't even feel too hot. I dunno, leak or something. Unity brother. It's an unfortunate blight to never be able to wear grey. 3-inch patch of hair on the side of my head turned white and fell out. Probably stress related. My uncle has this, and I experienced it once for myself. Alopecia areata or something like that. Sometimes I have what feels like heart pains. They are sharp sometimes and will usually occur in spurts, then not for a while. I had this for as long as I can remember, up until about when I was 22. 26 now. It's like a sudden oh frick me my heart for about 30 seconds of sheer terror, then tapers off like nothing happened. Sometimes when I orgasm, my right testicle pops up into my body. Oh, I've had this happen before. It goes behind the muscle and fat area behind your pelvis. For me, I was able to pop it back down with my hand and bending in a way one of my leg muscles weren't in the way. It didn't hurt but has freaked me out before, just out of fear that I won't be able to pop it back down. I throw up green yellow liquid type stuff in the morning after I wake up, once a week probably. It seems to happen from coughing. It's not acid, doesn't burn, and I generally feel better after. It's pretty weird. I think you should probably go see a doctor about that. I'm always cold. The tips of my big toes will get so cold they'll hurt, like I have frostbite or something. People think I'm strange because I'm always sitting on my hands or have them sandwiched between my thighs to warm them up, even when it's 70 degrees outside. My knees will sometimes turn purple, seemingly at random. Also, every day around 12-1 PM I'll feel really hungry, then extremely nauseous for about 20 minutes, and then I won't be hungry the rest of the day. I also think I may be diabetic. I want to throw up every morning. I'm 99% sure I am not pregnant, as I am male. And there's always that 1% chance. Occasionally I lose bits of time, only ever a few moments, and then I'm back, and then I feel a little confused, tired. If I am with people they look at me funny and I say I was just daydreaming, but in fact I have no idea what happened. Absent seizure. Go to the doc about this for sure. Extremely spread out menstrual cycles. I only have my period once every 4-5 months. I can't imagine the level of paranoia you live with on the daily. About twice a year I get a very sharp pain right below my belly button. If I move at all it feels horrible, almost to the point of collapsing. Usually I have to lay down and not move until it stops hurting. This lasts from 15 minutes up to 2 hours sometimes. No idea what it is. My jaw cracks all the time. I can make it pop loudly on command. It's rather worrisome. Sometimes when I'm making out it'll just crack non-stop. I have this too. Google TMJ, temporomandibular joint, and look up some treatments if it begins to bother you. I'd advise against cracking them, since it probably does damage the joints even further. Weird spasms in random places. Not a twitch, but almost feels like it's a muscle spasm. However, it is just in a single spot at a time, never along the entire muscle. Also, I kicked my big toe pretty hard one day and it hurt when bending or curling my toes for a few weeks afterwards. Painful enough that I tried not to walk on it and would half limp. The pain would return at only a slight bump for a few months afterwards. Sometimes, when I take the first bite of something, the back of my jaw, under my ear, has a stabbing pain for a few seconds. I think it has something to do with the production of saliva. We learned about this in nursing school. When you eat something after you haven't eaten in a while and have minimal amounts of saliva, sometimes the mandibular salivary glands, the ones you're experiencing pain in and produce 60% of the mouth's saliva, will try to overcompensate all at once, forcing too much saliva to be produced and back up the gland. The excess pressure is what is causing the pain. I semi-frequently become disoriented for no reason. I will suddenly forget where I am and what I'm doing, but after stopping and collecting myself I put I back together. Kind of reminds me of this time I completely forgot how to use the word am. I had to look up the definition to figure it out. Over the past year, I've noticed it can take me up to 30 seconds just to start peeing. I'll stand there, unpeeing dong in hand, and just wait. I can feel it coming, like the rising of a slow volcano or concerto, and eventually, it does come. I'm not even 40. I've had this for as long as I can remember. Sometimes it happens spontaneously, sometimes it happens when I overexert myself. My heart will sometimes start beating extremely fast, very hard. I get dizzy and it takes effort to walk. You can see me shake while it beats and the artery in my neck is visibly pulsating. It's very uncomfortable and the only way I can rid of it is to lay on my back and breathe very deeply. It ends as soon as it starts. It just goes back to normal, just like that, maybe after a minute or 2 minutes. When it ends, I get a warm shiver down my body and I usually sit for a while until I'm comfortable enough to walk around. Funny thing is, I did go to a doctor because of it, but despite thorough testing, heart checks and a whole day of embarrassment wearing a heart monitor, they told me I was fine, and that nothing was wrong. It doesn't scare me too much when it happens because I'm used to it, and on occasions it will skip from time to time, but I do have a looming fear that it could kill me one day. There seems to be an extra rib or something that is underneath my ribcage. I can reach underneath and pop it out. It doesn't hurt and I can't remember how I ever discovered it. Haha. Muscle twitches. My eyelid did it quite a bit. My finger sometimes. Also my leg. Near my knee. I get a kick out of it when it happens. Just stare at it. It's so strange, especially the eye. Only happens sporadically, but when it does, it can last up to 2 weeks. Not enough to worry about, and when I see the doc I forget it happened. Probably just from straining. About once a month I go blind in my left eye for about an hour, then my sight returns as if nothing happened. Horrible chest pain that doesn't allow me to take a full breath. Just shallow breaths or else awful pain. I found that if I arch my back and push my chest out it goes away. Only happens a couple times a month, lol. Probs dying. I poo very regularly, like 5-6 times a day. I've seen people on Reddit question whether 2 a day is too many. Also, for a very long time I didn't need to set an alarm because my calf muscles would cramp up between 6:30 am to 7 am each morning, forcing me awake. Was weird. My calf muscles have cramped early in the morning a couple of times, waking me up. Very weird indeed. Sometimes when I stand up, the edges of my vision go dark and I get all lightheaded like I've just breathed a ton of helium. It only lasts a few seconds before going back to normal. I don't even have to have been sitting down for long, or stand up really fast. It just happens. Orthostatic hypotension, a blood pressure drop when you stand up. I've got this as part of Marfan syndrome and being on a beta blocker. I've learned to mitigate it, i.e., enough sleep, making sure to eat enough. Exhaustion and low blood sugar make it worse. Also, I've learned, over the past 20+ years, to be able to walk completely blind for the several seconds it's going on. Useful skill. After sitting by myself in silence my hearing becomes very sensitive. Every sound becomes loud and aggressive. My thoughts become erratic and sound like shouting. It has happened since I was young and I have no idea what it is. This sounds a lot like something that's happened to me since I was young. Tied to this, everything seems to move too fast and becomes quickly overwhelming. Every once in a while, if I twist my head in a certain direction, a muscle in my neck gets really tight and I can't twist my head for about 20 seconds, and it really hurts. Got some bug bite in 3rd grade near my knee. Still hasn't gone away and I'm in my last year of college, so it's been there for about 12 years. It's bumpy and itches from time to time. Sounds like there is something in there, pal. Source: I put my hand through a window once and it was hard and itchy for 2 years, until one day I was scratching it and glass started coming out of the bump. Any fellow hypochondriacs of Reddit, approach thread with caution. Random tickle on my leg, but nothing's there. Probably just invisibugs. My ears will make this popping sound and then everything sounds like it's underwater. It happens every few days. My lymph node on the left side of my neck is always swollen. Always. It's like a hard little nodule that exerts pressure on my neck and slightly affects mobility. It makes my neck hurt and I'm pretty sure it's the source of my headaches. Yeah, that may or may not be lymphoma. Random migraines every few months. Starts out with me losing vision in either eye. Then my hands, feet, or tongue go numb. Then it's just a painful freaking headache for the next day. Yeah, get this checked out by a neurologist. Migraines could cause this, but other progressive neurological disorders could too. Just offhand, shires, mini strokes, and AVM of the cerebellar circulation could all cause similar complaints. Doctor here. Yeah, you'll need to see a mother trucking doctor. Get to da doctor. I get these weird thumping sounds in my left inner ear. It sounds like a muscle is twitching or something. The crazy part is that it seems to be driven by certain frequencies that I hear, somewhere in the mid-bass range. It will continue until I don't hear that frequency anymore. It doesn't affect my overall hearing. It's just kind of annoying. Happens mostly when I'm watching TV or listening to the radio. Something else weird about it is that it will completely go away for months at a time, then come back with a vengeance for a month, then gone again. Every once in a while, my heartbeat skips and then rapidly jumps around for a few beats and it knocks the air out of me. Quite bad back pain from time to time as a result of many sports injuries and poor posture. Worst thing is I'm only 21. My legs and arms randomly get giant red splotches that look painful in the sun, after a hot shower, and in the general heat. It doesn't really hurt or anything, so I've just dismissed it. Constant canker sores. At any given time I usually have at least one, but most of the time two. I had this. Switching to a toothpaste with different active ingredients solved the problem. I think I was allergic to something in most toothpastes. Now I use Sensodyne, but only the kind with the purple color code on the package. I poop twice a week on average. Growing up I pooped once every 3 weeks. This continued until about 19 years of age. They suspected it was due to psychosomatic issues. Now it's once every 3 days or so, but I suspect from various symptoms that all those years have fricked my insides up. I was told around 12 I'd die by 16 if I couldn't make myself go more due to fricking my colon up. I am presently 25, so who knows. Random weight loss, as in 5-10 kgs in a week. It's really weird. Semi-regular nosebleeds from my left nostril only. There was an overoccurrence of the symptom in the late 80s, specifically in rich white males. Daily I feel pressure and discomfort in my abdomen and near my rectum, and then I hear a pop or a grunt-like sound from my anus. I don't have health insurance, so a doctor's visit is out of the question. Sounds like you just have really violent farts. I have zits on my butt cheeks. A lot. Till I may be dying. Some days it goes up easy, other days it's a struggle. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason. Ah yes, lazy dong syndrome. Just gotta beat it into shape. Update everything. Has 69k subs me. Nice. Hashtag feature me. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.